There's a lot that can be said about the power of media and of journalists as we get to tell stories and, share perspectives of what's going on in our everyday lives. There's a lot of power, a lot of privilege, and a lot of responsibility in that. Because not only do we get to tell stories and hear stories, right, document them, we're responsible for how they're being framed and if they're being shared at all. And so, one thing that I would, from my own experience, challenge you as a journalist or encourage you rather, is be mindful of who you go talk to and what questions you're asking them. Are you doing your due diligence and research to make sure when you come to that person, you're getting everything possible from them? Now, that looks differently for different people, right? In the case of my story, a lot of this stuff was public record about the lynching. You can find it on Google. You can find out about, the history of the Klan in Fort Worth. You can find out the history of strikes in Fort Worth. But to ask questions about, well, what about your family? How have they suffered from this? Or when you were um, proposing this idea to acquire and rechannel this Klan Hall into something very positive, what kind of responses have you gotten from the community, both positive and negative? Right? Those are just examples, but I think the larger picture is when you, as a reporter or a journalist, um, do equip yourself with the most knowledge going into a situation. Two things are going to happen. One, you're either going to validate what's already been circulating or what's the common perspective, or B, you expose that truth, or you expose the hidden truth rather, and that's the counter perspective. That's the counter narrative that also needs to be told too. So just be really mindful of that. You never really know what a source or what one question can get you, and also approach things with care. We're always taught not to really get too invested into our sources, um, but that doesn't mean you can't come to them with care and with love and compassion, because the better you are as a human being and the more you respect them and the time you're with them, you're naturally going to get more information, and then take that and also be aware of, do things in goodwill. Don't hurt somebody's reputation. Don't interview them and then flip what they say. You know things happen nowadays, and I believe journalism is all about truth, and truth is power. So like I said, I think I did the right thing here in this story, but it wasn't without its emotions from both my interviewees, and letting them know that anything that I did, anything I shared, anything I wrote was going to be in their best interest, and that it would hopefully captivate an audience and change somebody's heart. So yeah, I'll say that for my journalists.